In order for you to win the hearts of others, you must first win yours. Pretend that you have a glass of wine. You are gonna pour this glass of wine into 2 cups. The first cup is your cup. The next cup is everyone. Your smart idea would be, let's pour in wine. Let's skip this wine and pour it onto the other one. So we're gonna continue to pour and pour and pour until there's nothing here on this wine, and even the glass bottle's empty. You're gonna pour into other people's wine to have everyone obsessed over you, and you're gonna realize that it is not worth it. In order for everyone to be obsessed with you, you must first become obsessed with you. So by the end of this video, you are going to receive 4 key points, 4 principles where you are going to be obsessed. Decided that there's 4 declarations to this to make everyone obsessed with you, but it's illegal. It should be illegal. It's illegal. Not everyone is going to be obsessed about you. And it's something that I've contemplated, not that I was ever in a position saying, boy, I really want everyone obsessed over me. Official declaration, not everyone's going to be obsessed with you, and that is okay. You know why that's okay? Because you weren't made for everyone. There's only one of you, and of the 8 billion people in the world, there's only probably, if or so, a group that will understand you to your core. Because in order for you to have any healthy relationships with other people, you must first have a healthy relationship with you. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that will really matter on who's obsessed with who is you. That is the only opinion when you go to sleep at night. You are not gonna want to be going to sleep and wondering, he dislikes me. Boy, she did not like me. Because that does nothing to your life. This is my saying, that if God loves me and I love me, that is all that matters. No one else has to like you. No one else has to be obsessed with you, and that is okay. Look at water, which is something, an example I always use. Look at water. Water is good for everyone. Water, a universal food, is good for everyone. Yet, no one loves water. You'll be like, what do you mean? No one loves water. No one likes water, but yet it's good for you. My next declaration, before you receive these 4 principles that will make you obsess in the eyes of others, is your worth is not dependent on the external factor. It's not the external factors. It's not that if everyone likes you, your life is going to be well, better, and dandy. Yes, it's good to have allies up on your wing, on your side, to believe for people to be obsessed with you, life will be significantly improved. That will not have any significance to you on the inside. And your worth is not dependent on the outside. Okay, when God created you, and I'm talking not religion, I'm talking your creator. When God created you, there's only one of you. And because there's only one of you, God created in the depths where no one was watching. He wasn't seeking human opinion. He wasn't seeking validation. He knows your in and outs. He knows your worst moments. He knows your good moments. And yet he still loves you. Our next declaration is be courageous enough to be disliked. Because when you are so courageous enough to be disliked, you will captivate audiences. Boy, to have this I don't give a F attitude, wow, you will catch gazes you would not believe you could catch. Because to be courageously liked would be out of the norm. Because when you're in the norm and when you're among the regulars, you will catch the eyes of others. Do it more so on you and who you are and a respect for you. But that's a little bit on these official declarations. Let's go to the 4 principles. So these are 4 principles that will make everyone obsessed with you. Starting with number 1, become more interested than interesting. So when you're in a conversation with someone, your biological self, your normal self would, I want everyone interested in me. How can I make everyone interested in me? And in order for everyone to become more interested in you, you have to become more interested in them. And that would mean removing any pride and removing ego. When you are more interested in another person, they will remember you. It's very normal that everyone speaks about themselves. Blah, blah, blah. I did this. I won this award. I have this certificate. I did this. I earned this amount of money. If I go on this tangent on every accomplishment I did, I lose you. Because from a point of analyzing the conversation, you are not going to care if a person is going up to you and is constantly talking about themselves. No, if you want everyone to be obsessed over you, you must become interested in them and they will become interested in you. What people evaluate that when they first meet you is the last impression and the first impression. So the last experience that they had about you, the last interaction that they had, those defined moments and the impression that they had of you, that is what they will remember. So ask more questions. Don't always talk about me, what I accomplished, what you did this, what you did. If you guys are still watching this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and comment down below anything that you found helpful and anything that you like like to see from my YouTube channel. Let's get back to the video. So next principle, mirror their language. When you have the ability to mirror someone else's language, there's nothing more dying of a conversation that they are not able to mirror that energy back to you. And you see it all the time. It's like, especially when it comes to dating, you see the times like, oh, he doesn't match my energy. Or even with friends, sometimes you're being playful and sometimes you're sarcasm. Sometimes people don't pick off on that. And there's a type of energy that you're releasing that when they don't pick up on that, it dies. Like the conversation dies. And if there's so many times in my life where I was probably goofy, I entered into the conversation goofy, open, that other person was just serious and it died. Like it died. Learn how to mirror their behavior. And probably it's not always going to be funsy. Sometimes you're going to enter into a conversation. And if you want to captivate that person and you want them to remember you and you want them to be obsessed with you or think about you at certain points, sometimes their approach in that conversation might be serious. Their approach in that conversation might be that they're pissy, right? And so you're going to mirror their energy in the sense where you're going to be pissy as well, but you're going to subtly match that energy. Think of it like this. You were coming in at a 6 and this person is probably at a 3. They're going to be like, oh my God, get away from. And I think what a great example would be like when a big dog is literally shying away from a feisty chihuahua. That feisty chihuahua is coming in at a 10. And let's say this golden retriever, because I have a golden retriever, she's coming in at a 5. Every time these two pair up and this one's coming in at a 10 and this one's coming in at a 5, what tends to happen? You think she's like, yeah, I want to stay. No, this one's like, bye, I want to go away. When you mirror someone's energy or someone's behavior, you build rapport with them in the sense that you are so selfless enough to approach them where they were. Right? You weren't aggressively, I want you to be at this level with me and I want you to respond the way I want you to respond. Because by force, you're never going to capture their hearts. By force, you're never going to capture someone's heart to be obsessed with you. But if you're able to mirror that person and whatever stage that they're in, whatever, if they're giving you a 10, if they're giving you an 11, they're giving you a 5, subtly, the fact that you can mirror that language, you can mirror their energy, it builds rapport to them because they will remember you. And also, it can be seductive, right? It can be different scenarios that it's not always going to be anger, it's not always going to be calm. Sometimes it's going to be a playful, flirtatious mirroring of the energy. But being so confident enough with yourself that you're able to do that. That's why in the beginning of this video, I said in order for you to capture the hearts of everyone, you must capture your own heart. The next principle I want to talk about is the power of unpredictability. Power of unpredictability, that one is something to play with so much. I was at the gym and beside me was a girl and she was doing squats. She was doing a shit ton of squats, a shit ton of weights, more like a lot of weight. And as she was doing these weights and I was getting ready to prepare myself or do the military press, kind of win me mentally and physically, right? I was getting ready to do it. I see in the mirror a lot of male gaze. I see a lot of male gaze. I see that she is receiving a lot of male gazes, which mindful, you're like, Chelsea, you're at the gym. I know, but hear me out. Like never have I ever often encountered or witnessed so many male gazes that this girl was receiving. I see she's doing a squat and as she's done, you know, getting up and you know, putting the rack on the thing, I told her, I was like, you know that you're getting a lot of male gazes. And I was like, I don't know why I'm telling her this. I was like, I think I would want someone to be looking out for me, right? And so she was like, yeah, I try not to look. It was the power of unpredictability. You know, and the power of predictability can occur in so many things that, like when you're approaching a stranger, instead of saying, hey, how are you? Which is this boring ass loop of, I'm good, how are you? My day's good. It's the same thing over and over and over again. You are gonna be among the many fishes in the sea. So instead of saying, hello, how are you? Change it up. Boy, I am electric. I remember one time someone asked me, how are you? And I was like, I was not electric, but I was like, you know what? Let's play with this. I was like, I'm electric. And when I respond, her day probably was not electric. Her day was the opposite of electric. But you know, even if your day is not electric, to even role play with that, it brings in power on you and focus on you that people will remember you and be like, hey, how was your day? I was like, this girl said she was electric. What? And so, you know, the power of predictability can also lower their guards down to you and know like, oh, it's safe to be with you. It's okay to be goofy. It's okay, you know, whatever, in the way you approach unpredictability, right? People are able to match that. They want to match that. They want unpredictability, because I think sometimes that gets so boring over and over again. How is things? The weather's good? It's good. What about you? Yeah, I don't. You know, so the power of predictability, it's like your brain is also hardwired for survival. When we go back to the old ages, right, in the hunting, and let's say you were hunting, let's say you were stuck in the, let's say you got called to be in the Hunger Games, right? And you're in the games, right? And you're among Katniss and Kato and Ruby, whatever their actors are, you're among them. The predictability radar is going to be so high. You're going to want to see who's doing the most crazy ass shite thing that they could do, because if they're able to do that, oh my god, imagine how much more they're going to be registered in your brain. Now this is just natural survival, but this just plays into the sense of power of predictability will be the very thing that will make you stand out. And not only that, the power of the predictability will be the thing that will allow you to open up and play with yourself, because when you're able to do that, you're able to search in yourself an attitude and of ways that you didn't think that you could possibly be. You didn't think that you could possibly be that way, that perhaps you were just in a default rate of speech, perhaps you were just in a default rate of behavior. And power of predictability allows you to do that, to play and to be open. The next principle is owning your narrative. Owning your narrative is a topic that I love to get into. In this principle, I think this principle has so much depth to it, for the reason being owning your narrative. Because what ends up happening, what does it mean? Well, what does it mean owning your narrative? Owning your narrative is being able to like the part of you that you don't like, and like the parts and love the parts of you that you do like, because not everyone's going to like you, and you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna say the wrong thing, and that's okay. But if you learn from it, and if you have this humility of a heart that you're able to accept, and a lot of times people won't see their own mistake, and perhaps that will prevent them from even growing or discovering much of their potential that is within them. Because when you own your narrative, you're able to own your story, you're able to own the beautiful parts, the beautiful imperfections, and also the ugly ones. And being okay with that, and learning to love yourself and explore yourself. How on earth are you going to win the heart of others if you can't even win your own heart? And I think so many times you neglect that part. You neglect that part because there's past hurts that are so difficult to deal with. But coming from a place where I have been through that journey, I've done that, I've been there, I can help others. And that's what I'm handing on to you. Own your narrative. You want to make everyone obsessed with you? Go ahead and make everyone obsessed. You become so intriguing, become so interested in others that they will have no doubt remembering you. But own your narrative, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful imperfections that you want no one to see, no one to hear. Guess what? There's probably someone else around the world who has that imperfection, that broken part that perhaps you have. And because if you're so busy hiding it and not owning it and feeling like shame, perhaps they too are in the same boat. So own your narrative. If you enjoyed this video and feel like you resonated with this video, feel free to check out this video. This video talks about people only see you the way you see yourself. So it bounces back onto you and owning your narrative and being courageous enough to be this light, knowing that if you want everyone obsessed with you, you must first become obsessed with yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.